welcome yet again to an amazing month where we're going to share very interesting stuff about business.
Business group coaching is back.
This business started in 2019 on the cusp of COVID.
Right now, the entire organization has over 30 people.
If that is not growth, you see what I meant when I told you we were bringing somebody with results to show?
That the reason why I need to have this is that people who follow me are mostly sinners. So they need to hear the word of the Lord.
So he knew how to calculate cost of goods, he knew how to purchase, he knew how to price, he knew how to repair, he knew even how to collect debts.
You strongly believe Jesus was a businessman?
Yes.
Anyone who sets up a business to work in it, you created a job for yourself. That business will fail.
When the leader sees small, the business is definitely going to stay small, and so is everyone in it, trapped in the smallness.
Exactly.
You who think the business people are not in kingdom business. Ooh.
This is Business Garage, and you are welcome this Sunday morning for today's show. My name is Sharon Tumusime, and I am your Business Garage host. This morning, we are coming to you from a location that you will soon find out where. We're not in our studio today, but Business Garage is brought to you by Worship Harvest Ministries. Worship Harvest Ministries is a movement of the gospel, discipleship, and mission, and we exist for the purpose of catalyzing spiritual, social, and economic renewal in our immediate communities, and as a result, the world. And at Worship Harvest, we plant life-giving, disciple-making, community-renewing churches. And we believe that church begins on Monday and Sunday is garage time. Business Garage is part of the Business Leaders Network, which is part of Worship Harvest Ministries. And Business Leaders Network exists to resource kingdom men and women to go out to the marketplace and take territory for Jesus, to spread the good news of the gospel of Jesus Christ in the marketplace. And Business Garage is part of the Business Leaders Network. And at Business Garage, we bring you stories that inspire you. We bring you conversations with people that are influential, as well as have had their time in specific sectors that are bound to add value to you. And today's show, you will definitely enjoy that, because we are talking to somebody from the education sector, and so you will definitely enjoy. But first things first, of course, at Business Garage, share the link with your friends, with your family members. Let them know that Business Garage is now live, so that they can join, so that they do not miss this conversation. This conversation today is for everybody, for the parents, for the educators, for anybody that is interested in transformation of their nation. This conversation is definitely for you, and I can assure will be value for your time. And so today we have somebody that is very, very special to us. She's been in the education sector for 20 years now. She has a business that she runs in the education sector, and we'll soon be telling you about it. And her name is Mrs. Lona Magara. She has been in the field of education for over 20 years now. She believes that education is key in the transformation process of any nation, and we'll get to hear why. And she says the formation of a character and a quality of a society, really of an individual and the society in which they live, depends on the education that they have received. She holds a Bachelor of Arts from Magara University and a Master's in Organization, Leadership and Management from Uganda Christian University. She's worked as a human resource in some of the organizations that we know, like the National Social Security Fund, but she also holds a certificate from Haggai International Institute for Advanced Leadership. So she's a leader in her own regard. But currently, she's the principal at Vine International Christian Academy. And at Vine, they run an accelerated Christian education curriculum, what is called ACE. I'm sure some of you have heard about it. She's the principal and of the school, and together with her husband, Dr. Magara, they founded Vine International Academy in 2005 as an alternative system of education that enhances an individual learner's unique needs while providing a curriculum with the 3 key pillars of wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. Isn't that amazing? She's passionate about effective leadership, but most importantly, the heart of a child. And she believes that the most important foundation in that is their belief in Jesus Christ. And their vision at Vine International Christian Academy is a generation discipled through Christian education. And she will tell us more about it. So you are welcome, Mrs. Magara, to Business Garage this morning.
Thank you.
It is so good to have you here. We have looked for you for a long time, and it's good that your schedule finally cleared for us to have you here. So it's really an honor and a pleasure to have you.
My pleasure too.
Yes.
My pleasure.
And usually on Business Garage, we don't like to leave without, rather start without our guests sending their greetings, because they have fans, they have followers, they have people that inspire, they inspire so many people. So we always like them to, send greetings.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm sure many people are telling you, send me greetings when they saw your flyer. So it's an opportunity for you to send greetings.
Well, since we are considering education, I would
Yes.
like to send greetings to all the educators out there, to all the parents. All parents are educators. So my love and regards to you all. Thank you.
All right, that is very nice. Yes.
Yeah.
So everybody has been covered. So let's
Yeah.
just really get into the gist of it.
Sure.
Vine.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about it these days.
Really?
It's a household name. Whenever we're talking about the accelerated Christian education,
Yeah.
the first space that people talk about is the Vine International Christian Academy. So just a little bit about it. How, when, why? Yes.
The story of Vine goes back 20 years ago. Actually, this year we are celebrating 20 years of existence. Yeah.
Yes.
Vine started in 2005, but the story goes a bit back to 2002 when we started homeschooling our children. We have 4 children. I'm married to Dr. James Magara, and we have 4 adult children and 4 grandchildren. So when we were considering educating our children, looking for schools, when we started looking for schools, when the firstborn was getting into, ready to get to school, we began looking at what were the options available. And we had them in the school system, the Ugandan school system.
Yes.
But as the years rolled on, we began to feel that we wanted more than just the academic system that we had got.
Yes.
We wanted more than just knowledge. We began looking around at what was available. And then in 2002, I'm bridging the whole process because
Yes.
there's a lot in there.
In between there, yes.
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 So in 2002, we decided to homeschool. And that's when we came across ACE, because it gave us a lot more than just the academics, a lot more than just the knowledge base. We were looking for an opportunity to have an input in our children's lives, to give them a holistic education system, to give them skills, to give them character, to prepare them for a future that none of us know, but to give them skills that would enable them excel in the future. Yeah, so that's how we came to ACE, and then we started homeschooling in 2002. 2 years into the program, we began getting these nudges from family, friends, but also as we began to seek God to say, okay, how is this thing going to carry on?
Yes.
We began to feel that we should open it up to more students.
Even others.
Yes. It wasn't an easy decision because we had just gotten settled into the rigor of homeschooling. 2005, Vine was born on 3rd of February with 22 students.
Wow.
Yes.
Including your own?
Including our own. Including our own. So we moved out of the home setting.
Yeah.
We rented some premise somewhere in Mengo, and we started with five teachers, and 20 years down the road, here we are.
Here we are,
Yeah.
this magnificent, complex property.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so large and it's so, big, and it's really now very organized. What was going through your mind in that season as, as you're opening up in Mengo, you're just 22, What
Yeah.
was the dream then versus what it is now? What were you seeing then? I mean, is it more than what you ever envisioned, or is it just right where you are?
The vision unfolded.
Okay.
The dream that we had, even as we started Vine, was to disciple a generation.
Yes.
So it's big. It's
Yes.
big.
Yeah.
A whole generation. To disciple a generation in God's ways, using the tool of education. So different people have different tools. The church, in the church, the tool is the church itself. So you come to church, you're trained, you have your cells.
Missional communities.
You have
and
mission,
that's where it
communities,
happens.
all
Yes,
that.
That's
the
where discipleship
tool.
happens.
That's the tool.
Yes.
In education, the tool is now the education system.
Yes.
So we felt that God had given us education as a tool to disciple. So Vine is about discipling a generation using education as a tool. So we're looking for a specific curriculum that would help us do that.
Yes.
And so the ACE program gives us pretty much a lot of it. Not everything, but a good part of the tools that we need to disciple.
Yes.
So the vision is big.
Yes.
And it unfolded. We needed space, we needed trained staff, we needed facilities. So we started in 2005.
Yeah.
And God graciously enabled us to start buying this property bit by bit.
Bit by bit.
Because we didn't have the money, so it was like bit by bit. And graciously, the land was all together, so just keep buying a little bit at a time.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, and then again, there was an incredible provision from God. Long story, but we were able to put up this first block that you came into.
Yes.
And we moved here 10 years later in 2004.
Yes.
2004, 2005. We were here. We put up this block and started with about 170 students.
Yes.
So it has unfolded gradually, but it is a big vision. We've added to the curriculum. AC is like a framework that we use, but we have several co-curricular activities embedded that provide training for the student, nurturing their skills, their gifts, giving them opportunity to network beyond Vine. So you network with other ACE schools. You have what we call conventions, which are like mini Olympics that stretch the kid and get them to interact in a competitive environment. We have what we call imaginal learning, which provides hands-on training and learning through the program. So there's a lot that we are embedding in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it has evolved a lot more from what you started.
It has, definitely.
So for you whose children were in at that time, because now they've long gone, even a grandma.
Yes.
Do you feel like it actually delivered what you wanted at that time? Or you feel like there's like a thing we missed?
I think we delivered for me.
Yes.
For me, and I say me, but I'm talking about us as a couple, Dr. Magara and myself. The foundation of any life must be godly.
Yeah.
So if I can take a child's hand like this and put it in Jesus' hand, I think I'll have laid the foundation. And once that foundation is laid, then you can build onto it.
Yes.
So education, skills training, confidence, networking, critical skills, all those are like add-ons.
Building but the foundation is secure.
So I believe that for our kids and for the many who have gone through that have committed their lives to God, a solid foundation has been laid.
Yes.
And then the others are add-ons.
Yeah.
So, yes.
All right. Okay.
And that's not to say, because one of the comments that kept coming through when we had just started was, are you raising reverends and bishops and I don't know what else?
Yes, yeah.
No, we're not. We are not.
It's a Bible college.
Yes, is it a Bible college? We're like, no, it's not.
Yes.
But biblical foundation is the foundation that undergirds everything else. Everything else.
Yeah.
Because they've excelled in their academics as well.
Yes.
They did excel. they went to universities here, but also all over the world, and they excelled in those universities.
Yes.
They are working in their areas of profession now,
Yes.
in their careers. They've built their careers, so they've excelled. And not just our own kids.
The ones that are going through.
several.
So right now, how many are we? How many? What's your population currently?
We're 400 actually.
400.
We're
Wow,
400
amazing.
now.
From 20.
From 20. From 20
God
to
has been good.
Hasn't he? Hasn't he?
Yes, he has. Yes.
Yes.
That's been really a journey of faith, but
It
really
has,
you can see,
it has.
just
Absolutely.
those faith actions and see the
Absolutely.
result now.
Absolutely.
And we cannot wait for what else is coming.
Me too.
Yes.
Me too.
Yes.
Me too.
And so we've been in a season where we're talking about national transformation.
Yeah.
This the whole past month and really and finally now we're looking at the education sector, which really is key for national transformation, the education of the nation. How educated is the population in order to see something like that. So I would like for you to just speak into it. What are some of those things? Because first the child is with us at home, even as a parent, even before they come to the school. What are some of those things that someone can do to just prepare their child to think national from the get-go, instead of just me, myself, and me, but rather the nation? Because sometimes you realize people are just focusing on themselves. Is it something to do with how I was raised? Is it my community that I just don't think about the nation? So what would you think as an educator?
I think to get there, you first have to have an understanding of what education is.
Yes.
Many times we think of education as that which happens at school. Education is way broader than that. Education is actually the whole of life. Education starts from when you're conceived in the womb. Because there your mother begins to speak to you, your environment speaks to you.
There's learning happening.
Yes, learning is happening. The child is responding to the environment, whether it's a pressured environment or a peaceful environment, or the parents when they speak to the child. We have a very interesting experience. One of our sons, the third born, each time when I was pregnant, carrying him, each time I walked into a room where there was music, he would move in the womb. And so we called him David.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes, but to date, he's a very, very musical child.
He is.
Yes, he's a man now. He's married. But just to say that education does not begin when you walk into school.
Into this classroom.
Absolutely not. It begins way, way back.
Yes.
And so when you have that understanding, you realize that it's to educate a child is not a one-person job. It's a partnership of the parent, of the school, of the community. And therefore, as a parent, when you're considering where to take your child to school, you're looking for a partner because you're already on the journey of educating your child. So you're looking for who can I partner with, who carries the same values, who carries the vision I have for my child, the passion. What would I want to see for my child? Who carries the same? Who can I work with in that regard? And so the choice of the school is not because Sharon has a friend there or Peter has a friend there. No, it's who are the people I can partner with to deliver what is in my heart or what is in our hearts as a couple for this particular child. So education is broader than academics. You need to find one that has the academic rigor. But beyond that, does it provide opportunity for me as a parent to engage?
Yes.
Remember, it's a partnership. Does it provide opportunity to nurture or even identify the gifts that this child has? Because each one of us is unique. We come with gifts and skills that God has put in us that need to be identified, developed. So does it give opportunity for that? Does it give opportunity for the child to be observant about their environment, about their community, so that they're not just inward looking. They're looking at, okay, when I'm coming to school, I see little kids walking. Daddy, mommy, what's happening? Why are kids walking to school? Can we help? So being observant, but also being able to identify needs that they can address in some way.
Yes,
in their,
yeah.
And so if when you're looking for a school, you're looking for things that go beyond just the academics. You're trying to develop the child so that when they grow up, they have compassion. Not only do they have compassion for their community, but they're also able to identify areas where they can contribute to that. Now, that takes a lot of training to get the child, excuse me, to see beyond themselves. Yes, you're training them to be strong and confident and critical thinkers and have the knowledge base that they need, all that.
Yes.
But they're going to live in a community. So are they aware of their community?
Yeah.
So education is the whole of life.
Yes.
And like I'd said earlier, you're undergirding it with biblical values, with godly values. And that then will direct how they engage.
Yes.
How do they engage? Are they seeing things in God's perspective? The world now is changing so fast.
Yeah.
Values are up in the air.
Yeah.
One day it's this, the next day it's this. But godly values,
they never change.
They never change.
Yeah.
God never changes.
Yes.
And that gives them stability. It gives them an identity that then is like the foundation for everything else they do. Once they know who they are, they won't be swept by the tide.
Yeah.
Once they're confident in who they are in God, then they'll have the stable values that will guide their path.
Yeah.
They become like the parameters against which they live their lives.
Yes.
Yeah. So education is the whole of life.
The whole of life.
Yes.
So really, yes, you've really spoken insightfully about education. What are some of the challenges maybe that you feel people are faced with right now that maybe they are failing to recognize this or do what we're talking about, setting the foundation and just preparing our children, showing them what is around. What are some of the challenges that maybe parents are faced with now? Yeah. They might not even know that it's something that is hindering what they would be doing in terms of preparing our children better to take care of themselves as well as the community around them. Yes.
There's the practical thing of there are not enough jobs to absorb all our children, even as they come through the education system.
Yes.
And we always think job, but maybe we shouldn't be thinking job. We should be thinking creators of those jobs. But most of us, by the time the child is coming out of school, you're thinking, he needs to be employed.
Yeah, who's going to give my child a job?
Yes, they need a job. They need a job. There are not enough jobs.
Yes.
I know that in public service, I think public service can only take maybe about 300,000.
Yes.
Magara alone, we graduate thousands.
Thousands at each year, graduation.
So what happened? Yeah. So because of the narrow, of the limited number of jobs, the competition to have A students is real.
And that's what we're focusing on.
And so every parent is like, you must get an A or a 1 or whatever grades are there right now. Yes. So the push for academic excellence kind of causes all the other important things to lose. They're not as important.
Yeah.
They are important, but in the grand scheme of things, if you're going to get a job, we'll talk about
those.
Nobody's going to ask you about your character. They're going to ask for your grades. You present
first things
yes.
First.
Give me your documents. Give me your papers. Give me your certificates.
Yes.
So because of that, you find that the push, and here I'm talking generally, the push for academic excellence overrides everything else. So the schools are pushing for that.
Yeah.
Because it takes time. It takes time. You only have so much time in a day.
Yes.
And you only have this child for a number of years.
Yeah.
You must
you better
deliver
put everything that you've been assigned to put in them.
You must deliver. And yet all the other areas of development require time.
Yes.
You need to invest time in character development, and therefore you create activities that will be a platform for that. You need to create time for parent involvement.
Yes.
to come in and engage with the school and engage with the students, all that is time that is taken away from focusing on the academics.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's my reading, is that is the main reason
Yes.
why many in the education sector will focus on just the academics. Yes, you'll have a lesson or two of
Games or something.
Yes. You'll have one or two. Most schools will say, let the parents handle that section,
Yes.
that area of a child's life. Let's focus on this.
Yeah.
Because it's like a tunnel. At the end, you find it's very limited.
Yes, very small.
Very
Yes.
small,
Yes.
yeah.
All right. Okay. So those are some of the challenges. And yes, you mentioned a really serious one, that's what our focus is, because ultimately they better excel
You
so
need
that
a
they
job,
see them,
my dear.
so that they can stand out, you know.
Yes. So maybe we need to
Yes.
create more avenues for the children to explore innovation,
Yes.
to be able to create the jobs themselves.
To create the jobs
Yeah,
themselves.
look around at the
Yes.
community. What need is there? What need can you
Yes.
meet? How do we help you, support you in
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
Yes, which is sort of preempting my next question. How does a parent now, with this information, prepare from what you've studied? You know,
Yeah.
it might seem like a no-brainer for some,
Yeah.
but how can a parent then position themselves to prepare their child beyond the academics? Not telling them don't focus on it. Yes, it's also important, but
yeah.
what can I do to support my child beyond? Because we're assuming the school is working on that part. What should a parent do to just prepare their child to be a better citizen, really? Yeah.
Look around at your environment at home,
Yeah.
because remember, education starts
As early
at home. Yes.
at home.
So what are you doing at home to train the child beyond the academics,
Yeah.
in the various aspects of their lives, in character development, in social skills, in community engagement?
Yeah.
Be deliberate. Be deliberate and say, okay, I want my children to relate with the community.
Yeah.
Now, that's an interesting one, because a lot of us as parents are very protective of our
Yes,
kids.
we fear the community.
We fear the community. And yet we
I
live in a
said it.
community. You did. And yet,
Yes, and yet that's where we live. Yeah.
so we're not going to live in isolation. Our
Yes.
kids are not going to be islands.
Yes.
What's the point? Where does Christ come in then? Are we
Yes.
going to minister to ourselves?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
identify the needs in your community. First, as a parent,
Yeah.
are you engaged with the community before you take your
Yourself.
child to the community?
Yes, yeah. Do you
Yes.
know what's happening?
Do you know what's happening in your community?
Yeah.
And go with them as you engage with the community. Go with them.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Go with
Usually,
them.
when we're going for outreach, the children stay at home.
Go with them.
Go alone.
Go with them. Let them see.
Yes, yeah.
Then you can have conversations of, Mommy, what about this? Daddy, what
Yes.
about this? Why is this one like
Yeah, I
this?
saw this.
Yeah, I
you
saw
know,
this.
why?
What does it mean?
Yes, yeah.
Yes. Can we be part of it? Can we?
Yeah.
So you deliberately help them engage by you yourself engaging
Yes.
in the community. And once you do that, it opens up a lot of conversations.
Yeah.
I believe that you can be
Build
learning
on.
moments. You
Yes.
can build on their learning moments, the opportunities to actually do something about it rather than just talk about it. Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So home is a good place to start, but it takes intentionality. It takes being, you need to have a plan.
Yeah.
It takes time, it takes commitment.
Yeah.
Usually, after a long day's work, you don't want to
talk to
go out again. Once you've driven through Kampala's traffic, you're like,
Yes.
let's
Did
stay
you all do your
home.
homework? Okay, let's
Yes,
go.
homework. And then the holidays, time to rest. Or time for the kids to engage in some holiday activity.
Program or something.
Yes.
Ship them off to a holiday camp or something.
Who has a camp in the community? Yeah. Does the school have a program? Does the church have a program?
Yes.
Because you want them busy.
Yes, so that you can continue to work. And,
Yes,
and,
yes.
yeah,
So
bring the
these
bacon
things
home.
take
Yeah.
commitment and they take time.
Time.
But if you're going to have a child who is aware of the community
Yes.
and engaged, because it's as they engage with the community that they'll eventually
Yes.
Transformation of a nation does not start when you're the president or you're the
the minister or the LC.
No,
Yes,
it starts with you knowing who your neighbor is and
Yes.
influencing your community,
Yeah.
those that are next to you.
Yes.
So if you don't have a heart for the community, how are you going to have a heart
Even
for
if
the
you become
nation?
the minister, you
Not
still
at all.
want, yes,
Not
you
at
still
all.
want to think
You'll
about
still
the
be very
community.
inward looking.
Yes.
Yeah. So nurture that from the time they're little to
Yes.
see beyond themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I just want to wrap up because Business Garage, mainly we have business owners. As someone that's just educating and releasing children into the space where these business owners are the ones employing these children.
Yeah.
How has it changed? Do you feel like the business owners are ready to receive them? Because many business leaders are always saying, you know, the people that are coming are a certain type and a certain type. Is it them that don't know, don't understand?
Yeah.
Is it what the school is releasing? Where is the gap? And how can a business owner prepare themselves to receive these people? What should they be prepared for?
Okay.
How can they add value to this person?
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes I feel like the business owner is in another time, and now the people that are coming also
At
in another
different,
time. Yes.
different.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I understand your question correctly, you're asking what should the school system do to prepare students
Maybe
coming out?
what should the business owner expect of these people so that they manage their expectations and be able to support them to, because you know they're coming.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
yes.
how can a business owner set expectations if they have their own expectations? They
Yes.
want someone who, I know, I run a school, I have over 80 staff.
Yeah.
I want someone who is self-driven.
Yes.
I want someone who has character,
Yes.
biblical character.
Yes.
Someone who fears and honors God.
Yes.
Yeah. Because once I know you fear God, I know that you'll be accountable to Him. You do
Yes.
first and foremost before you're
Before you get
accountable
to
to
me.
me. Yes. So you'll do whatever you need to do, knowing very well that you're honoring God, and because of that, there are certain things you will not do, or certain things you will do gladly. You'll do gladly. So you want someone who has that as the foundation of their lives, and then you want someone who takes initiative,
Yes.
who is not going to wait for me to tell you, please do this, then tomorrow do this.
Have you
do
done this?
No,
Yes.
no. I want to be able to give you your work, your roles, your responsibilities, and then you get on with it.
Yes.
I won't be removed from you, but I'll be able to guide you along the way, but not over your shoulder. I want someone who works for excellence, who aims for excellence. If a job is worth doing, it is worth doing well.
Yeah.
We have a biblical foundation for that as well. Whatever you do, do it
Yes.
as unto the Lord.
the
Give it
glory
your
of the Lord.
best.
Yes.
Yes. So you're looking for excellence. You're looking for someone who can learn, who is willing to learn. None of us have everything together. None of us know everything. There is always opportunity to learn. With a new situation, I would say, okay, what do I know? What do I need to learn? And I have the humility to learn from those who have been before me.
Yeah.
So those are some of the critical things you're looking for. Ability to learn, ability to adapt.
Yeah.
Yeah, you may have done something before, but this is a new environment. How can I adapt to the new environment and still give it my best and still make sure that we're moving together?
Yeah.
Teamwork. You may be excellent, but if you don't know how to work with people, that's a big one.
Yeah.
That's a big one. Yeah. So there are certain traits and skills that you're looking for that will advance the cause of whatever organization you're running.
Yes.
But someone who can come in, adapt, willing to learn, giving their very best, has initiative, is able to look at a situation and critically analyze it.
Yes.
Those are some of the best you would find.
You'd find.
Yeah.
Yes. So for a business owner, is this something they should be prepared to teach people? Is it something they should expect? Or because sometimes you have them, but they don't have those things. So what then?
I think
They have like 3 and they don't have, most of the ones.
Yeah, I think as a business owner, you need to be open to train.
Okay.
To train, because you're not going to find a perfect package of a person.
Yes.
They will have 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
They will have 2 out of. But again, you need to determine what are your non-negotiables.
Yes.
And once you have the non-negotiables, this person is bringing on board a non-negotiable, but they're lacking in other areas.
Yes.
Be prepared to train them.
Yes.
Yeah. That's part of your call as
the leader.
As the leader, yeah, to add on to
whatever this person
has come with. Yes.
Really, even to disciple
Yes.
the people that have been,
is
have been given to you.
Yes. That is your call as a leader.
Yes.
I know that for me, for my teachers, one of the calls on my life is to develop them. They come in with certain skills, but I need to add to them.
Yes.
And so identifying what that is and providing training for that.
Yeah.
So you'll never get a perfect person.
Yes. Oh, yes. So a parting shot, just 1 minute. What would be a parting shot? Really, to someone whose business is into education. Yes, they are an educator as well.
Yeah.
Or that one who's dreaming. You know, the people who is dreaming, I want to start a school one day.
Yes.
You know, what would you talk to them in line with just preparing the children, indeed, for the nation as at that level? Yes. Yeah. And even and then for a parent.
Okay. Yes. One, education is a noble cause.
Yeah.
Jesus one of his names was teacher, was called the teacher.
Yeah.
So to be called after him is such a great honor. So I just want to encourage the teachers out there, even parents, that you're doing such a noble work. Yeah. So embrace it. Embrace it with that perspective that you're partnering with God, the greatest teacher. Amen. Secondly, teaching or education is really what determines the quality of a nation.
Yeah.
If you want to see the soul of a nation, look at the education system. Why?
Yeah.
Education molds the mind and the heart. If you can mold the mind and the heart, think of it as going to a what are they called? These guys who build pots and what? A potter's house.
Potter's house,
Yes, go to a potter's house. The potter's hands determine the shape of the pot, or even the wheel, the potter's wheel. Education is that.
Oh, yeah.
So it's such an honorable, important aspect of a nation that those that are engaged in it need to think of it and do it with the utmost reverence, because you're actually molding the next generation. You're molding a nation.
Yeah.
The people that are coming through, you will have determined their perspective, their lens of life, but also the heart that they bring into society.
Yes.
So just an encouragement to the parents that you're doing a noble job.
Wow. Yes.
You're doing a noble job. Be deliberate.
Yeah.
Be intentional. For schools, for those that would already are in the school system but would like to start schools, you desire a noble thing.
Yes.
But give it your very best.
Best.
And don't look at what you're struggling with. Yes, those ones you can. They'll always be there. But just know that you're partnering with God. So seek His heart for the children that He has given you.
He has given you in that season. Amen. Thank you so much, Mrs. Magara. It was beautiful talking to you. And I'm sure we'll be back even for more conversations around this matter. But we've really learnt a lot, and I'm sure we're inspired and encouraged as well. Because sometimes as a parent you wonder, am I doing the right thing? But you've just encouraged a parent out there, a teacher, a business owner, and I'm sure that our nation will not be the same again once they've listened to this interview. So thank you so much.
My pleasure. It's been a delight.
It has. Yes, it has.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for having us in your wonderful school.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's been an honor.
Blessings.
Bless you too.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, as usual on Business Garage, we have so much to say and so little time, but I'm sure you found the conversation insightful. For that parent, I'm sure you have been encouraged to be more intentional about the conversations and the time that you spend with your children and what you are doing with them, because believe it or not, you and what you're doing with your children contributes to the transformation of this nation. Like Mrs. Magara said, if you want to look at the soul of a nation, look at their education system. And so you play a role. Are you a teacher? You play a role. Are you a business owner? you play a role in how the nation turns up based on the people that you've received. What are they learning? What are you teaching them? All the way from their foundation. You're responsible for discipling the people under your care for the nation's transformation. And Mrs. Magara has talked a lot about the foundation of everything being Jesus Christ. And so it goes to say that if you do not have Jesus as your Lord and Savior, what are you building on? You are definitely building on a shaky foundation. And so would like to give you an opportunity today to build your life on the foundation that never shakes, that never changes. Through all the changing scenes of life, like that song goes, the foundation that you built with Jesus and your walk with him is the one you can be sure of to stay the time, the test of time. So I would like to give you an opportunity to start a relationship with Jesus today. He will change your life. He will transform it, and he will be able to give you a life of significance where you will know and you will live a life that is pleasing to him, but adding value to those you are dealing with because your foundation is right. So if you'd like to give your life to Christ, you can say this prayer with us. You say, "Dear Lord, thank you for my life. Thank you that you love me. Thank you that you care for me, that you gave up your life so I could have life in its fullness. And today, I accept you as my Lord and Savior. Come into my life, be my Savior, and let me live a life in you and with you all the days of my life. In Jesus' name, I have received your salvation. Amen." And if you just say that prayer, you are born again right now. There is a party in heaven. There's a celebration. There is a feast because of the prayer that you just made. And would like to continue the party in heaven by celebrating with you here. So please do let us know on this number, +256 775 642 449. That's +256 775 642 449. There's a pastor at the end of that line that is going to help you make sense of his prayer, as well as connect you to a loving church family where you will be discipled and start your walk with Christ. And for the rest of us that are tuned in, thank you so much for tuning in. If you'd like to ask any questions around what we talked about, do feel free to send us an inbox, a message, and we'll definitely get your question to Mrs. Magara, and she'll be able to answer you in case you have any concerns or questions around the education conversation. But from all of us at Business Garage, we love you and we are rooting for you. Do join us for Garage at any one of our 160 plus locations at Worship Harvest Ministries. There's definitely one somewhere near you. So join us. If you go to fellowship in another church, please do not miss church this Sunday. Go to church. There's definitely something the Lord has prepared for you. From myself, Sharon, and the team at Business Garage, until next Sunday, bye-bye.
Business Garage,